Turn these locks on this thing before I fall and die. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy back with another video. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the channel. My name is Zeus. I go by Zeus, and we're here building this beautiful, magnificent car behind me that is costing way too much. More about that later. But if you've returned to this channel, thank you so much for being a loyal watcher. I really appreciate all you guys' comments over the past few weeks as I've been doing modifications to the car. I really do appreciate you, and thank you for reaching out and talking to me. In today's video, I want to talk about my predictions on how much it's going to cost to get a motor swap done on the G35 to a VQ37 VHR 370Z or G37 engine. Okay, so to start off with this video, I just want to say that majority of the work that I'm going to be doing on the car is going to be performed by me. I don't plan on taking it to a shop to get the work done, so there won't be too many labor charges. There's a kid rolling a sick Mercedes something. It looks like oh wait, is that a Bentley? That's a Bentley GT Coupe. There's a kid riding in a tiny little Bentley GT Coupe across the street. Dumb cute. Most of the work is going to be performed by me. I won't be bringing it to a mechanic, so labor charge won't be a huge factor. I will have a money counter on the top left or the top right of the screen so you guys can keep track of how much this build is going to cost off of my predictions. First thing you're going to need in order to get all of this started is you're going to need to find yourself an engine. So in order to get a VQ37 VHR, I've budgeted about $2,500 to find myself an engine with lower miles. I'd like to get one with under 50,000 miles in order to, let's say, ensure better reliability, to make sure that it's not gonna break down on me anytime soon in the near future. The next thing you're gonna need is you're gonna need a transmission. So the transmission, I've budgeted about $2,000 again to find a pretty low mileage manual transmission to put into the car as well. So that brings it to a total of $4,500 for an engine and transmission combination. You might see $5,000, but let's just stick with the plan. So you're gonna have to get the engine and transmission shipped to you unless you have a forklift and a moving truck that you can just get on a whim. If you have it like that, shit, hit me up. But if not, I'm assuming it's going to cost about $500, between $300 and $500 in freight in order to get an engine shipped to you into your garage. After that, you're going to need a wire harness. And the engine and transmission doesn't run without an ECU and a wire harness. So for the wire harness, I'm assuming it's going to be about $1,500. You're going to need three. You're going to need an engine wire harness. You need a firewall wire harness. You're gonna need a dashboard wire harness. You may need a chassis wire harness. Like, there's a bunch that goes into wire harness, and I'm not an electric guy at all whatsoever. So I'm assuming it's gonna be about $1,500. I think I budgeted a little high on that one to give myself some leeway. And that's not even to include the ECU. And the ECU, I'm thinking it's gonna be about $1,000. So after you've received your wire harnesses, you gotta remember, that's for 370Z. You have to get it to be compatible with the G35. So you're gonna have to pay a aftermarket shop or a specialty shop in order to do the work to get the harness compatible with the G35 chassis. So I'm budgeting about $1,500. I found a specialty harness mechanic shop, I guess, that does the work. Actually, I got it from a guy on Instagram named Forever G35. I've been talking to him over the past few weeks because he just did his engine swap. I'll link his YouTube channel in the description so you guys can watch that. Free plug. What's up, Forever G35? Holla at me, bro. I appreciate you talking to me and getting me motivated to do this build as well. Then motor mounts. You got to put it in. I don't know actually if the VQ37 uses the same motor mounts as the G30 or the VQ35DE, but they have the same mounting points. So I'm assuming you can use the same mounts, but I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade it to 370Z mounts so that I have more stability, and their new mounts I don't have to worry about pulling the engine out again. to replace that. So motor mounts, 250 bucks. Transmission mounts, again, same mounting points. I don't think you have to replace it, but I'm gonna go ahead and replace it with a 370Z to handle more of the torque and to, you know, get it done, because I don't think the transmission mount has been replaced on this car since the manufacturer sent it out of the dealer, you know? So the transmission mount, 200 bucks. Headers. Again, I'm trying to be as California compliant as possible to try to get this thing road legal. Hopefully I can. If not, then I just screwed myself. We won't think about that. Used, I'm budgeting $250 for that. Then after that, again, California compliant, we're gonna need catalytic converters. And in California, it's not like you can just go and buy catalytic converters off of Letgo. Can't. Or Facebook Marketplace. Try, probably get scammed, not a good idea. You're gonna have to go to an exhaust shop in order to get that done. So, I'm assuming I'm gonna be paying around $2,000 to get that work done. That hurts to say out loud. What am I doing? Oh, what am I doing? Intakes. I'm gonna be getting some intakes that have to be carb legal, of course. So I was looking at, what is it called? Z1 Motorsports. They have a set of carb legal intakes. I think they're selling for $500. I think it was like $499. $500. I'm not including tax. I put that at the end as a consideration. You're gonna need a hose kit because you need to transfer fluids from your radiator in and around your motor. So a hose kit from Z1 Motorsports, again, is gonna cost you around 200 bucks. AC lines, huge. I'm in California, it gets hot out here. I'm in like the Tri-Valley area. It's not quite the Bay where you could just not have AC year round. I think it's about to be 100 and something degrees Labor Day weekend. I think 108. I need air conditioning. So for AC lines, around $200, you can find yourself a set of used AC lines, probably less than that. But I'm gonna give myself some room in my budget for 200 bucks to make sure that they're pristine, they're not gonna blow off or run a leak or anything like that. Now, some of the stuff to get the motor running once you have everything hooked up, you're gonna need fluids, you're gonna need belts. And you're also probably gonna need to pick up some hardware on the side, whether it's screws, gaskets, O-rings, crush rings, all the small miscellaneous things that you probably wouldn't consider initially when you're thinking about a motor swap. Hell, even down to fueling. You might need to grab yourself a new fuel pump. You may need to get some new fuel lines, depending on what happens when you take the motor out. You might crush something, you might break something. Hopefully you don't, but take it into consideration. So belts, fluids, hardware, I'm gonna say about $300. Man, I don't know where that number is. Wherever I put it, it's probably high. Extra things to consider. So when you're buying a motor, you don't necessarily get all the accessories you're gonna need in order to get it up and running, just drop in. So sometimes you might buy a motor and it may not come with an AC compressor, throttle body, starter, alternator, water pump, all the engine accessories that are considered an afterthought. You might have to buy that individually. Looking at the used market, it doesn't seem like any of those parts, I mean, outside of 2 throttle bodies and maybe an alternator, you're not going to be spending $100 for each individual piece. So for that, I would budget around $500 just in case you have to pick up those things. That money counter again, man, whew, it's making me feel bad. All right, we're getting near the end. We're getting near the end. Bear with me. If you stuck this far in the video, thank you. If you're going to do it, please tag your IG below so I can see that you're doing the build. If you've already done it, tag your IG below, because I have questions, man. I have so many questions. Another consideration that you guys should take into account for is tools. If you don't already have tools, you're gonna spend at least $200 just to get your basic tool set, unless you could borrow it from somebody. I already had basic tools. I bought some extra tools just for me, spent about 200 bucks on that. And then you also have to get yourself an engine hoist, which is gonna cost you around $400 at Harbor Freight for a 2-ton. For those of you who's not gonna be doing the work yourselves and who are gonna be taking it to a shop, you really have to consider the labor costs. You're gonna be paying, depending on where you live, $200 just for them to have it in your shop. You have daily fees, you have hourly fees, you have like so much that goes with it. Some people even charge disposal fees of all the trash that you've accumulated over the course of the build. It can get costly. I have no idea what a prediction could be for that. I would assume since you're swapping an engine from a chassis that's not originally for the car, it's probably gonna double the price of the labor. So if I had to make a guess, I would say anywhere between $3,000 and $6,000 depending on where you live. But that's just a guess. It could be less. You could have like an uncle, brother, cousin that like does all the automotive work for you for free. And if so, you are a lucky individual. I am jealous. So jealous. And then a tune. Once you have everything buttoned up and working and operating just fine, you're more than likely gonna get a tune, because why stay stock, you know? Why stay stock? If you're gonna get a tune, that can vary in prices. You have to get the licensing, you have to get the hardware, and then you gotta pay for all the dyno and tune work yourself. Some people do drop tunes, some people get email tunes, some people like to take their car to a dyno. If you live in California, it's a little bit different from us. We can't modify our ECUs, which is concerning, because I don't know if I could do this swap without modifying my ECU. Is that even possible? Is this a dumb decision? I'm regretting my choices in life. I should have just bought a RAV4. Should I have just bought a whole 370Z?
All right, so we're looking at the prices here for a used 370Z. As you guys can see, I am looking under 60,000 miles, Nissan manual, used 370Z, minimum 2014. That's when the gallery gasket issues have been resolved. Let's sort this by price. Where is it at? Price, lowest, see results. 32,000, 41,000, $23,000 for 59,000 miles is about as cheap as you can get, and this is nationwide in the United States.
So yes, you're gonna need a tune if that is the route you wanna go. Hopefully one day when I am long gone and out of California, I can go ahead and get myself a tune, run some E85, twin turbo this girl, push like 500 horsepower, get some illegal modifications, throw some nitrous in there. Okay, maybe the nitrous was a little too far. This ain't Fast and Furious, but you get what I'm saying. California, ease up on us, man. We're just trying to live. So that's my cost prediction. If you guys think that I'm off the mark, put it in the comments. I'm gonna shoot for doing this build under $10,000. That is my personal goal. But anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you find value in what I'm doing here, if you'd like to support my channel, again, like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Social media is social. Talk to me. Until next time, peace.